Welcome back to this traffic video series. In this particular set of videos, what I want to do is introduce you to what I call social media tools. In respect of, they're not directly a social media site, but they are a way for people to interact and to get information and ultimately get links back to your site. Some of them might have fallen out of favor with some people over the last 12 months, but I can tell you here and now they are still very strong sites that you can be using if you use them effectively. The emphasis on this whole course as you go through is the fact that you don't want to be focusing or putting all your eggs into one basket and expecting that to be the only way that you're going to drive traffic and it will be successful. By all means, test. You want to track everything and make sure that you're making the most of every link opportunity you get. But don't spread yourself so thin that there's no effort involved in each of the sites and therefore you don't actually end up getting really any traffic of note anyway. But what you don't want to do is just focus on one mean or one strain of traffic only, and then if that falls out of favor with Google or it just doesn't work for you and your particular niche, you'll give up and retire away thinking it's not worth it, when in actual fact it potentially could be a good traffic stream for you at a later date. I'm going to show you an example of a site a little bit later that will put that point to proof for you. So first of all, I'm going to look at the Squidoo site. It's squidoo.com. Now, this was a very favorable site back in 2006, 2007, even to 2008. It was still going strong. And then with Google doing a few of its famous flaps and its farming method, it's dropped out of favor with some people saying and reporting that there's absolutely no traffic coming from this resource for now at all. But what I've found is it actually depends on the niche, it depends on the quality, it depends if you're using duplicate content or if you're just literally setting up a site of spam whereby your Squidoo lens is just literally nothing but advertising and no real content or help at all. Remember at the end of the day that Google's aim in life is to deliver the right content to the right people at the right time. So if someone types in a search phrase, the last thing they want to do is click on a site and see nothing else but ads and no content at all. Now, whilst this has worked favorably for AdSense marketers over the years, because that's exactly what they want you to do, is to click back off the site, therefore making money, the whole idea for you is to build a steady stream of traffic and keep bringing more and more people to your target sites. And to that effect, Google still will link certain lenses within Squidoo. And not only that, as I'll show you in a moment, it still values its content with quite a good healthy page rank of 7. So if you've got good quality content on Squidoo on a lens and you don't make it your only focus for traffic, but again, consider it as part of the whole picture. If Google sees that you've got different sites that all link back to you, and those sites have good page rank, good reputation and standing, and they have good quality links coming and pointing to you, at some point Google's going to sit up and take notice of your business and of your site, and that will help you in the organic search results. So don't write off Squidoo, don't write off sites like Hub Pages or even Blogger, because they do have their uses, and we're going to look at that now. So Squidoo, basic site, you set up something called a Squidoo lens, and again, I'm not here to train you on how to set up a Squidoo lens. There's plenty of sites that will do that. And in the resources section, I've even got a link into some information giving you a rough guide, quick guide, a few pages, a few lines of how to use Squidoo, and even Seth Godin's own free PDF, which is still readily available for you to access on the internet, that tells you about Squidoo. So the idea is that people can explore topics. You come to the front page here, and you'll see that Talk Like a Pirate Day on the day that we're in. It's been given Lens of the Day. There's a mustache on a stick, amazing Mario Bros birthday cakes, tortoiseshell cats. Well, this is quite interesting to know. It's quite a tight niche here. So you'll see, and again here, vintage VW cars and buses for sale. So people are using Squidoo, still powerful as a tool for their niche business. If all you're doing is knocking out sites that say make thousands and thousands and millions of dollars by pushing this magic button, and you're promoting nothing but that on a Squidoo lens, chances are you're not going to rank very well inside of Squidoo. If you're giving good quality content, then you can expect to find some great followers inside of Squidoo, and ultimately, even if people aren't coming and finding Squidoo lenses through Google, if we look quickly at the Alexa ranking, you'll see that it's still 208 in the global rankings, and it's still in the top 150 in the US. It has a good reputation in rankings, and if you look at its traffic rank, it's petered up and down around the same for the last 3 to 6 months. If we look at the reach, you can see that's still consistent. Page views are consistent. Page views per user. The bounce rates are actually quite good for a site like Squidoo. The time on the site people spend is averaging around 5.5 minutes. And if you look at this, 23% of people that come to Squidoo as an estimate still come via a search engine. So just because Google's dropped it perhaps in certain search terms, you may still find people going through Ask, through Bing, through Yahoo and other sites, and there are still times when lenses do appear in the Google rankings as well. So ultimately 23% of their traffic, and if they're in the top 131 sites, they're getting a lot of traffic. It's still a popular site. And if people are going through search engines, or if they're just using Squidoo anyway as their site of choice to search, if you've got the appropriate products or the appropriate niche markets, people will read your content and then they'll click the links, and that can drive it back to your main money sites. So don't discount Squidoo. Give it some thought and appreciation and make yourself a lens. Don't spend all your days and times writing content on it, but don't just add spammy content for the hell of it either. Just make sure when you do add content, it's good value and worth reading for the niche you're targeting. And just to show you that, I've got a search here that I've just done now on Squidoo, and you'll see that its page rank is 7 out of 10. So even with it getting a bit of a slap lately, perhaps in some people's eyes telling you it's totally not worth having, with a page rank of 7, that would say that Google still values the content that can be found here. Something that's connected and very worthwhile you getting involved in is called squidu.com, and it's a forum. It says here, Squidoo Ideas Forum run by Lens Masters for Lens Masters. It's not moderated in any way by Squidoo itself, but there's some really good content and tips and tools you can find in here, and also people sharing their experiences as well. It's a forum that if you start to add content to Squidoo, one to keep on your bookmarks and keep an eye on and just read through some of the content. So don't knock out and don't discount Squidoo. Make sure it's one of the sites you create a lens for and you use it as part of your traffic building program.